proud of our guys' response that we had. We had an abysmal performance against Western Michigan on Tuesday night, but it's college basketball. You know, it's like you go next game. I thought our guys had the right response. They had the right preparation right after that game, and it's incredible how your thoughts and your mindset control kind of your actions, right? And I thought our guys, like I said, responded the right way like they have all year. We got a lot of good performances out of different people. I thought Coach Summers on our staff did a great job with the scout for Central Michigan. He had us prepared. Our guys did a great job understanding the game plan defensively and where we needed to keep Central Michigan away from the paint. I thought, again, obviously Pritchard getting foul trouble early helped. But we had good performances from everybody. Potter was tremendous early. Ipsaro was aggressive offensively. So was Dean. So was Cooper. And those guys got to be that way. They're talented, but they got to have that mindset where they're going to catch to shoot rather than just catch to drive or to pass the ball. And it's amazing how much better of a shooter you are when you have the right mindset. So it's the next game mentality for us. Obviously, we're at Bowling Green on Tuesday. They got us earlier in the year, so we owe them one. But that game will be won or lost here starting this minute right here moving forward.
I asked Dean the same thing here. Is it too simplistic to say that the difference between your first game against Central and this one is A, playing at home, and B, having more experience?
Yeah, I think the crowd was great. I should have mentioned that probably earlier. And again, thanks to President Crawford and Dr. Crawford, for level honor care. I thought we had another tremendous crowd, and when Millett's like this, man, it gives us a huge advantage. But I think also, listen, it's funny how people respond to adversity, right? Today, Central Michigan had some adversity, right? Early on, whether it was Pritchard in foul trouble, we were hitting some shots, and we went through adversity at Western Michigan, right? And it's like, man, how do you respond? That response piece is the key. That's what great teams have. And to this point in the season, Central Michigan's responded pretty dang good the whole MAC season here. But today they didn't have that response for whatever reason, and I thought, again, our mindset was good. We had the aggression. We made some shots, but you can't be front runners, man. That's what I tell our guys all the time. It's like, listen, control the controllables. Got to play with great effort. Got to have a great attitude, be about the team regardless of what's going on for you. The key to being a great team, though, is that response to adversity.
Obviously, a lot of things were going well with the offense, but defensively, you held them to 60 points. For a team it's doing that well, it's got that many weapons, I guess you'd have to feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, I thought our guys did a great job with the game plan, just understanding who is who. They have some really good shooters in Butler and Rubio. Then they got some really good drivers. I mean, Pritchard, man, is he good? He's as good as any guard in the league. And Taylor, is a fifth-year guy, is an elite paint guy as well. So's Harding. I mean, they got some really good paint guys. And I thought we did a good job with the game plan, understanding, trying to take away what they do great, right? And that goes in for every game. And that can't ever get old. We all know each other, especially as you're playing a guy for a second time, right? I think that familiarity was really good for us going into this game.
There's a point in the second half, you're way out front, just under the 10-minute mark. And you've got guys, Dean and Ipsaro, diving on the floor after a loose ball as if it was going to be, for a game-winning shot, and you're still up by a bunch. So I guess from a coaching standpoint, that's pretty good to see that kind of effort at that kind of a juncture.
It is. I thought all those guys are playing hard. I know exactly the play you're talking about with Dean and Ipsaro. And listen, the aggressor's going to win. And you got to play the right way for 40 minutes. And we're doing it. It's like I told those guys, we have now I think it's 4 regular season games left, I believe. And that's all Darwishi and Bryce and Andy are guaranteed. Right? Like, that's it. It's the lights at the end of the tunnel. Like, we got to play with that desperation. If we want to go to Cleveland, we got to act like every single possession is that going to Cleveland's on the line. And we're doing it for Andy, we're doing it for Bryce, and we're doing it for Weish. Right, and I think that's what those guys played. That's why they played the way they played tonight. That's why they dove on that floor. It's like, hey man, we're trying to get to Cleveland, and we're doing it for our teammates, not for ourselves individually. We play for others.
Travis, did you after the Western Michigan performance? Is there some kind of trick or strategy, or what did you use? How do you say, well, that's how you perform? So what did you do, or how did this come out of them today?
I think it's powerful to obviously have a team message as well. We talked about, just kind of setting the stage for the end of the season here. We got a lot of new guys on our team. We got 6 freshmen, including Brant Byers, who's redshirting. We got a couple D2 transfers who've never played in the MAC. Some of these guys may think that it's just a guarantee we're going to Cleveland. And we put ourselves in position. We control our own narrative here towards the end, but we got to play that desperation. And just give them an understanding, like, listen, we are playing for our 3 seniors. They're only guaranteed there were 5 games going into tonight, because those guys love Anderson, they love Bryce, and they love Darwishi. They're great human beings. They're great teammates. And I think once those guys started realizing, like, man, listen, we got to play for those guys, right? I think that really mattered. And then having individual meetings as well helped. Like, listen, it's like Evan tonight, Ipsaro. He was aggressive offensively. I felt like he's gotten his defensive intensity back the last few games. But his offensive side of the ball, when he's aggressive and he's catching to shoot, and he's thinking score a little bit, that makes us way better. Same thing with Cooper, same thing with Dean. We're a different team when those guys look to score the ball, and because especially with our front line, because we've got as good as the front line as you're going to find in our league, with the way Potter can stretch it, the way Andy can play down low, and Jaquel's athletic. I mean, we got a lot of weapons, and we just need those guards to continue to be aggressive.
Coach, you mentioned it a few times about controlling your own destiny this year. Last year, you needed a little help to get in with the A seed, and this year you can finish anywhere from 3 to 8 if we're being realistic. So this year, what is the mentality? How does that change from last year, as in you're scraping, you're clawing to get your way to Cleveland, where this year you can finish anywhere in that top half or that bottom half?
Yeah, I mean, it's the MAC, it's muddy. I think – Akron is obviously, I think they're in first now because Toledo lost last night, but Toledo's had a great year. And it's muddy, man, from there. I mean, it's just there's a lot of parity, and it's about who's mentally sharper and who wants it more, man. I mean, it's been a long season. It's a marathon. Who can finish the race? Who can finish it? But it's great being in a position. You said it last year, we needed a little bit of help. We lost at Buffalo. If we'd have beat Buffalo at Buffalo, we'd have controlled our own destiny. But we lost, so we needed a little bit of help, and we got that help, thankfully. But this year we get to control it. And it's like, man, why not go into the mindset? I think we're one of the most dangerous teams in the league. We've shown we can beat anybody. We beat Akron. We were right there at Toledo, who's number 2. We beat Central Michigan here at home, who's in third. Like, we can beat anybody, but we got to get in there. We got to make sure we secure that spot every single day with how we're preparing.
Coach, you talked about connectedness a fair amount. You had 19 assists to 9 turnovers. What did you see, I guess, from the bench that just seemed like everyone was aware of where everybody else was on the floor today?
Yeah, I thought our guards did a great job. Cooper, Ipsaro, Boltman, we have different guys. I mean, just our spacing was really good. Our ball was moving. I thought we handled pressure a lot better today than we did at Central Michigan. I think we've learned from that and gotten better. But when our ball moves like that, I think, again, we can space shoot a lot of different ways, because Potter, it's unique. I mean, he's 7 foot tall, but he's shooting almost 60% from 3 in league play. Then you got Anderson, who can shoot the ball a little bit. And then you get when Bryce catches to shoot, Evan catches to shoot, Cooper, Dean. We got a lot of different guys who can do it. Think about this. Wishi tonight only took 3 field goal attempts. He had 5 assists. And I couldn't tell whether he scored 25 or scored how many points he had tonight. What do you have, 5? He had, 3 points? I couldn't tell the difference. That's the type of dude he is. He's a great teammate. He just wants to win. But, again, I think when guys just put winning first and we have great space, man, we're pretty hard to guard.
Then you got to empty your bench a little bit, too, at the end of this game, and it looked like Eli Yofan almost gave you a little stare down after he hit that 3. What was that all about?
Yeah, the bank. The bank is open, I guess, on a Saturday afternoon here in Oxford. Then he shot another one. He should have passed the ball to Hampton, try to get Hampton a bucket or something. But it was good. Listen, we give out a chain after every game, and it's kind of who plays with the most energy and passion. And we gave it to what we call our purple team, which is our scout team. Eli, Brant Byers, Coach K practices a lot with it on the scout team, and so does Elijah. We have different guys out there, man, Hampton and Blake, and those guys did a great job helping us prepare for tonight. They look just like Central Michigan, both offensively and defensively. They were a huge reason why we won tonight.
Anybody else?
Coach, I imagine it has to be kind of frustrating when you're riding the roller coaster over these last couple weeks or so, where you've got games where it doesn't go well at all, and then games like this where you look unbeatable, not only against just a team, but one of the upper level teams. Obviously, this helps you a little bit with the standings and that. Do you feel like you'd like to find that magic potion or get a run of a couple games here heading toward the tournament?
Yeah, by the way, I love Kings Island. I love roller coasters, but not with my team though, right? Like, you know, it was funny on the. I feel like you're in our locker room up at Western Michigan. I drew like a roller coaster. I'm not the most artistic guy, but I tried to. They got the point, and that's how our team's been. And you know, we're youthful in a lot of areas. We got good guys, but the great teams are consistent. Bottom line. Great teams are consistent. We've shown we can beat anybody. We're dangerous. I'm calling us dangerous. I'm not calling it because we're not there yet. Once we show consistency, then we'll be a good team. And we're fully capable. And I think our guys are trying. We're trying to figure out how to create that consistency. That's the key, though, and that's what everybody's striving for, right? And that magic potion, so to speak. It's, you know, can we do it at BG? And then whoever after that, I don't know who the heck we play after that, but we'll figure that out when that time comes. But our preparation in the next couple of days is going to be the key to winning at BG.
Congratulations to you, career high in points, tied your career high in rebounds. Looked like you all were having a lot of fun out there, especially against a team that beat you earlier in the year. How much fun was it for y'all?
Yeah, man, it was a lot of fun. You know, we have really started to click and buy into you know, sending these seniors out the right way. And, you know, I think everybody was just excited. And, you know, it's always good to see Eli Yofan get in there and knock down a three as well.
Is it too simplistic to say that the difference between the first game against them and this one would be, A, you were at home, and B, you have more experience now than you did then?
Yeah, I think it's a mix of a lot of things. You know, we had some guys banged up the first time we played them as well, including myself, and Ja, I think, was out, and I think Evan Ifsaro, I think that was his first game back from his injury. So, you know, I think it's a mix of a lot of things. You know, as the season goes, you know, this is around the time when teams want to be peaking and playing their best basketball. So I think it's just a mix of a couple different things.
Getting into the final home stretch here of the MAC race, how big of a win was this for you guys to, you know, where any wins, you know, important for you for making a tournament, and you pull it off against one of the upper echelon teams?
Yeah, no, I think, you know, our focus has been, you know, no matter the opponent, no matter the game, we approach every game the same way, approach every opponent with respect, and go out there and try to play as hard as we can and do what we can do. So I think each game, you know, is equal in its own sense. You know, a win on the record in MAC play is all of them are important, and so we're just trying to go and get all of them.
Bradley, how about there was a little span there in the second half where you hit a couple of threes kind of back-to-back. I don't know just how that felt. I mean, it was almost like every time you put it up, you thought it would go.
Yeah, you know, that's the confidence that my team and my coaches give me, and, you know, that I give them in myself. So all credit goes to those guys. You know, they make my job easy. I just got to catch it and shoot it.
Brad, since you came back from injury, you've almost looked more confident now than you did pre-injury. What do you think has just clicked for you over the last couple of weeks?
I think the main thing is, you know, sitting there for 8 games and watching, you know, from that perspective. I've never really done that before. I haven't dealt with a lot of injuries throughout my entire career, even in high school and stuff. So it really just helped me, you know, get a feel for everything from a different perspective and see things that maybe I wouldn't see normally as a player. So I would just credit to that. And then, you know, the training staff and everyone like that and getting me feeling back to normal and even better than normal.
Is this your first post-game interview?
Yes, sir. Here it is, yes.
I want to ask you one other thing, not to do with you. I'm doing something on Anderson, and just, you know, everybody focuses on his size, but he's kind of like a twinkle toes out there. Or he can move around pretty good for a big old guy.
Yeah, Andy's very unique. You know, I don't think, you know, me for one, I haven't seen many players that his size have that skill set and good feet. You know, in my opinion, I think he should be in the NFL, be an offensive lineman. But you know, yeah, he has great feet, great feel for the game, and he's a very skilled player. So I have a lot of respect for him, and just trying to send him out the right way as well.